The Ocean of Shadows, the reign of Livyatan melvillei. The Hook. The ocean surface explodes in a chaotic spray of crimson and salt. A massive, prehistoric whale nearly 60 feet long lunges from the depths. Its jaws, lined with teeth the size of a human forearm, lock onto the flank of a smaller baleen whale. The force of the impact is not just a bite, it is a structural collapse. The prey is shaken with such violence that the surrounding currents vibrate. This is not a hunt of stealth, but a display of raw, prehistoric power. This is the world of the Livyatan. The introduction. The modern sperm whale is often seen as a gentle giant of the abyss, a creature that dives thousands of feet into the darkness to hunt elusive giant squid. It is a specialist, a master of suction feeding and sonar. However, 12 million years ago, the lineage of the sperm whale looked very different. During the Miocene epoch, the oceans were a theater of giants. Among them emerged a predator so formidable that scientists named it after the ultimate biblical monster, Livyatan melvillei. Unlike its modern descendants, Livyatan was not a deep-sea specialist. It was a macro-predatory whale, meaning it hunted large prey. It occupied the same ecological niche as the modern killer whale, but on a scale that defies imagination. With a skull measuring nearly 10 feet in length and teeth that are among the largest ever recorded in the animal kingdom, Livyatan was the apex of evolution's attempt to create the perfect sea monster. The rise of a titan. To understand the rivalry between Livyatan and its contemporaries, one must first look at its physical arsenal. The discovery of its fossils in the Pisco Formation of Peru changed everything paleontologists thought they knew about whale evolution. The most striking feature of Livyatan was its dentition. While modern sperm whales only have functional teeth in their lower jaws for grasping slippery squid, Livyatan had massive, interlocking teeth in both the upper and lower jaws. These teeth were not meant for grasping. They were meant for shearing meat and crushing bone. The skull of Livyatan also revealed a massive basin for the spermaceti organ. In modern whales, this organ is used for echolocation and buoyancy. In Livyatan, it likely served these purposes, but may have also functioned as a battering ram. Imagine a 60-ton predator accelerating through the water, using its massive forehead to stun prey before delivering a definitive bite. This was a creature built for high-energy combat in the sunlit layers of the ocean. The Great Rivalry. The Miocene Ocean was not a lonely place for a giant. Sharing these waters was the Otodus Megalodon, the largest shark to ever live. For millions of years, these two titans existed as the ultimate rivals. While the Megalodon used its serrated teeth to saw through flesh, the Livyatan used brute force and mammalian intelligence. The competition for food was intense. Both predators targeted the abundant medium-sized baleen whales that flourished in the warm Miocene seas. However, the Livyatan had a distinct advantage: intelligence and social structure. As mammals, it is highly probable that these whales traveled in pods, using complex communication to coordinate attacks. A lone megalodon, despite its size, would have found a pod of Livyatan to be a terrifying prospect. The ocean was divided between the cold-blooded efficiency of the great shark and the warm-blooded, calculated power of the prehistoric whale. The climax, a battle of giants. Picture a scenario in the ancient Pacific. A pod of Livyatan encounters a rival predator or a particularly large prey item. The water churns as the whales use their superior maneuverability. One Livyatan dives deep, coming up from the blind spot of its target with terrifying speed. The impact is tectonic. The spermaceti organ cushions the whale's brain while delivering a blow that can crack the ribs of another giant. The climax of the Livyatan's existence was its absolute dominance over the food chain. When it closed its jaws, the pressure exerted was enough to snap the spine of any contemporary marine mammal. It did not need to wait for its prey to bleed out like a shark might. It was an active, aggressive hunter that used its massive bulk to overpower everything in its path. The struggle for survival in the Miocene was a constant war of attrition, and for millions of years, the Livyatan was winning. The changing tides. However, no king rules forever. As the Miocene transitioned into the Pliocene, the world began to change. Global temperatures dropped and the ocean currents shifted. The small and medium-sized baleen whales, the primary food source for the Livyatan, began to migrate to colder waters, or grow into the massive giant we see today, like the blue whale. The Livyatan, a specialized predator of large mammals, found itself at a disadvantage. Its massive body required a staggering amount of calories to maintain. As the prey became scarcer or moved to polar regions where the warm-blooded but tropical adapted Livyatan could not easily follow, the population began to dwindle. The very traits that made it a king, its massive size and specialized diet, eventually led to its downfall. The legacy of the Leviathan. Today, the legacy of the Livyatan lives on in the modern sperm whale. While the modern version has traded its massive teeth for a more peaceful life in the depths, the DNA of a conqueror still lingers. When we look at the scars on the heads of modern sperm whales from battles with giant squid, we see a shadow of the ancient combat that defined their ancestors. The story of the Livyatan is a reminder of a time when the ocean was a much more violent and spectacular place. It was a time when whales were not the gentle giants of our imagination, but the most feared predators on the planet. The Livyatan melvillei remains a symbol of prehistoric power, a creature that once challenged the very gods of the sea and left an indelible mark on the history of life on Earth. The conclusion. As the sun sets over the modern ocean, it is easy to forget the monsters that once patrolled these same waters. The Livyatan is gone, leaving only fossilized teeth and massive skulls to tell its story. Yet, in the silence of the deep, the spirit of the Leviathan remains. It serves as a testament to the incredible journey of whale evolution, from land-dwelling ancestors to the undisputed kings of the prehistoric seas. The rivalry, the power, and the sheer scale of the Livyatan remind us that the ocean still holds secrets of a forgotten, titan-filled past.